Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. The F.A.R.M update for Astroneer is here, so let's talk about what's new, what's changed, my first impressions of the update, and when you can play it. You might be wondering why I'd start an update video with footage from the tutorial. That's because, as of this update, the tutorial has been removed from Astroneer. If you previously completed the tutorial to receive the Exodynamics Training Seal of Approval achievement, don't worry, you will not lose your achievement. If you haven't yet obtained that achievement, you can now do so via the Printing Up mission that you encounter early in the game. There is one caveat, however. If you have not yet unlocked the achievement before this update, but you have previously completed the Printing Up mission, the achievement will not unlock for you. To get the achievement, you'll need to start a new save and complete the Printing Up mission. In a recent roadmap livestream, Joe from Astroneer explained that the tutorial has been removed because it caused some technological issues when updating the game across multiple platforms. Since the tutorial does not even begin to scratch the surface of all that Astroneer has to offer, its removal really isn't a huge loss. Moving on, we have good news for Steam players. This update brings with it Steam Cloud Saves, enabling you to back up 10,000 save files or a total of 1 gigabyte, whichever comes first. If you play Astroneer on multiple computers, you might want to make a backup of all your saves. Steam does not have any elegant solution for handling possible naming duplications or mismatched save data, and weird things can happen when Steam saves are created under those conditions. But under normal use, save data will be checked when you launch the game and synced to the cloud when you exit the game. The Astropedia has received a small update as well, with a new page explaining fall damage, respawning, and retrieving items from your backpack after a respawn. The trade platform has received a big upgrade as well, bringing with it an actual long-term use for Astronium. Not only has the look of the trade platform been upgraded, but when you open its control panel, you will find it can now be used to trade with scrap or Astronium. Trading for scrap works like it always has, but when you trade with Astronium, you're not trading for resources, you're trading for actual items. Those items include hydrazine, jump jets, dynamite, packagers, and EXO chips. That's right, we now have an alternate method for obtaining EXO chips without going out to search for them. On top of that, slotting and storage now work much better with the trade platform. If it's attached to a platform with available scrap or Astronium, they will slot automatically to the rocket. In fact, you can have scrap automatically slot to the rocket directly from your shedder as each scrap nugget is completed. And when the rocket lands, resources and items will now automatically slot to any available attached storage. This makes managing the trade platform much easier. This update also adds a new automation item, the proximity repeater. It requires 700 bytes to unlock in the research catalog, and you can print it on the small printer from 1 zinc. Unlike all other repeaters and sensors, the proximity repeater does not require segment pins to activate items. Instead, it will activate all items within its radius. This means you can use it to scan research items, unpackage several items at once, build quick automation setups, and even use it to plant seeds. Speaking of seeds, the EXO Fuel Acquisition, Renewal, and Maintenance, or F.A.R.M event is live with this update as well. Much like the Boo event from around this time last year, we will be on the hunt for squash, which had been renamed to Sturdy Squash. Appearing on Silva, Calidor, and Aatrox, you can harvest several varieties of Sturdy Squash for seeds. The more rare variations will yield more seeds when harvested. Once replanted, the seeds quickly grow into full Sturdy Squash that can be harvested to produce both seeds and Sturdy Squash samples. Those samples can be combined in the Cauldranja plants that you can find on Silva, Calidor, and Aatrox to produce biofuels. 2 Sturdy Squash samples will produce Squashaline, which is worth 15 event points. A Sturdy Squash sample and a Mutant Spining Attactus seed will produce Adapetrol, which is worth 35 event points. And a Sturdy Squash sample plus a Mutant Elegant Spewflower seed will produce Noxathane, which is worth 50 event points. To help you speed up production, the Cauldranjas found on Calidor produce biofuels faster than those found on Silva, supernova, while the cauldranges found on Atrox produce fuel even quicker than those found on the other two planets. So it definitely pays to pick up a fuel cauldranga from Atrox to make the most of this event. You can attach the individual biofuel canisters to the EXO Request platform to redeem your points, or you can fill up a medium gas canister with one type of biofuel and maximize the number of points you receive for each launch. At 800 points, you will unlock the Bio Throwback Bundle, which contains the Hallowed Helm Hat, Spooky Visor, Pumpkin Visor, Endless Visor, and Spooky Palette from previous year's events. At 2400 points, you will unlock the Giddy Up emote. At 5600, you unlock another throwback consisting of the Pumpkin Shelter. And at 8000 points, you complete the event and are awarded the Honest Living Hat. As with past events, you will receive useful incremental rewards throughout the event, and if you continue to send off biofuels on the EXO Request platform after unlocking the Honest Living Hat, you will receive randomized recurring rewards, including QTRTGs and exochips. By the way, big thanks to Astroneer Discord moderator and my good friend Bunny for providing me a screenshot of the Honest Living Hat. I haven't yet had time to complete the event before this video, so I haven't yet unlocked any of the rewards. But if you tune in to twitch.tv/Vainglorious Gaming at noon on the day the update goes live, I'll be working on the event during the live stream and will hopefully unlock the Giddy Up emote to show off on stream. This update has also changed the way that we can harvest harmless hazards. Instead of digging them up, we can now simply harvest them through an action. And all seeds can be replanted via sensors and repeaters without the need to first manually pick them up and place them on the terrain. In addition, all Flora hazards now have a highlight state and tooltip information, and seeds that are dropped will now stick around for about 10 minutes before despawning. To go along with the season, fall harvest theme decorations now appear on top of your tether posts. Sadly, these were not active yet when I recorded this video, but I have seen them in an earlier build of this update, and they look amazing. There are also some new cosmetic items available in the EXO Outfitters store. You can pick up the Deep Space Diver bundle, which includes the Guiding Light hat, 3x3 eye mask, and Abyss palette. There's also the new Elementary hat, Wheat Treat and Grazer's masks, Hunter visor, and Cutie Pink, Cutie Blue, Scarecrow, and Denim palettes. Again, these items were not yet live in the EXO Outfitters store when I recorded this video, but I will be certain to give them a proper showcase during my live stream on launch day. As with any Astroneer update, there are additional bug fixes included, and you can check out the full patch notes linked below for those details. So let's talk about my first impressions of this update. At first glance, this update can feel rather small and make you wonder what Systemera has been up to. In fact, Joe has mentioned that the December update will be on the smaller side as well, and it too will hinge mostly on the winter event. So what's going on here? Well, it's pretty simple. If we take a step back and take a look at the bigger picture, a smaller update right now kind of makes sense. Systemera is currently putting the finishing touches on the game to get it ready to send to Nintendo in preparation for the Switch release of the game. On top of that, they're also hard at work on the Snails update. The Snails themselves are most likely no small thing to implement, and I'm sure we'll see quite a bit added to the game to go along with the Snails. Beyond that, Joe has teased of something rather big coming next year that the studio has been working on. So with all of that going on, and with Systemera still being a pretty small game studio, it's only natural they can't devote a massive amount of their resources to this and the December update. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Not every update can bring about huge revolutionary changes. Sometimes they need a little time to work on some bigger things that are coming later. Instead of just leaving us with a huge gap between updates, they release some smaller updates. And even though this is a smaller update, it has some really nice changes. I mean, Astronium finally has a use. That is something the Astroneer community has been waiting on for as long as I can remember. On top of that, Systemera heard our feedback on obtaining exochips and has implemented a second way to get them. And to me, being able to harvest plants without the need for constant digging is a really nice change because I don't like leaving huge holes everywhere. I know last year's Boo event became something of a chore toward the end, end, as I either had to replace soil I had dug up to harvest plants, or I had to constantly relocate my farming location. And the proximity repeater brings about some great functionality as well. So sure, this is a smaller update, and it doesn't introduce a ton of new gameplay, but it does deliver some really big improvements for new players and those of us who keep coming back to Astroneer over and over again. And all of this has been introduced while System Era is hard at work on some truly big updates. So overall, I'm really happy with this update, even if it isn't full of tons of new items to play with. That brings us to the big question a lot of people have been asking. When can you play the update? Well, you don't have to wait too long. This video went live at 8 a.m. Pacific time on the day the update will release. Astroneer updates historically drop in the afternoon, so you will be able to download and play this update later today. Keep an eye on the official Astroneer Discord to find out when it's available. But don't be that guy that keeps asking, is the update out? Every 10 minutes. No one likes that guy. Now that we've covered everything in this update, talked about my first impressions, and told you when you can start playing it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of the F.A.R.M update. And come hang out with me later today at twitch.tv/Vainglorious Gaming, where I'll be giving a live first look at everything in the update. And while you're here, be sure to get subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my Astroneer content, including update news, Let's Plays, and the Astroneer Academy series of videos. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.